Well, hello, my YouTube fellas and gals. So today we are on lot 49 of Action and Suspense. And if you're new to my channel, I only use bookstore. If you're interested in these books, you can contact me through Minna's Bookstore and more on Facebook, through Messenger, or Tammy's Makeup Treats at gmail.com. So with that being said, I ship media mail. These are softbacks in this particular lot, and they're all $2 a piece. And if you're not interested in buying off of me, but you love to read books, you can also look these up on your Kindles and Nooks. I'll have everything in the description below, and you can go find them. I'll have the ISBN number, or you can just look them up by the title of the book and the name of the author. So with that, I do 10 books each video that I do, and this is book number 1. This is called Piranha by Clive Cussler and Boyd Morrison. This is a 2015 copyright. This is what the book looks like in really good condition. That's Clive Cussler himself. And this is the synopsis of what the book is about. In 1902, the volcano Mount Pelee erupts on the island of Martinique, wiping out an entire city of 30,000 and sinking a ship carrying a German scientist on the verge of an astonishing breakthrough. Over a century later, Juan Cabrillo will have to deal with that scientist's legacy. During a covert operation, Cabrillo and the crew meticulously fake the sinking of the Oregon, but when an unknown adversary tracks them down, despite their planning and attempts to assassinate them, Cabrillo and his team struggle to fight back against an enemy who seems to be able to anticipate their every move. They discover that a traitorous American weapons designer has completed the German scientist's work and now wields extraordinary power, sending the Oregon on a race against time to stop an attack that could lead to one man's ruling over the largest empire the world has ever known. So there is book number 1. Book number 2, we have a David Baldacci who wrote The Whole Truth. It's definitely been loved. You will see creases in the cover and a little crease in the back. This is a 2008 copyright. This is the condition of the books. Got some aging around the edges. I clean and go through every book so you have no ripped pages as a reader. And this is what it's about. Nicholas Creel is a man on a mission. He heads up the world's largest defense contractor. Dick Pender is the man Creel retains to perception manage his company to even more riches by manipulating international conflicts. But Creel may have an even grander plan in mind. Shaw, a man with no first name and a unique past, works for a secret multinational intelligence agency by traveling the globe to keep it safe and at peace. Despite desperate to get back to the top of her profession, journalist Katie James gets a break of a lifetime, the chance to interview the sole survivor of a massacre that has left every nation horrified. And David Baldacci, I don't know how to say his last name, but his name's David B. First international thriller. These characters face a catastrophic threat that could change the world as we know it. It looks like a good book. So that's book number 2. Book number 3 is a nice, thick book. This is The Hostage by W.E.B. Griffin. And it has some discoloring on the outer pages, but that is one thick book. 2006 copyright. This is what it's about. An American diplomat's wife is kidnapped in Argentina and her husband murdered before her eyes. She is told her children will be next if she doesn't tell the kidnappers where her brother is. A man who may know quite a bit about the burgeoning United Nations Iraq oil for food scandal. There is an awful lot of money flying around and an awful lot of hands are reaching up to grab it. And some of those hands don't mind shedding as much blood as it takes, even if that blood comes from Charlie Castillo. So there you go. Book number 3. Book number 4, we have Tom Clancy's Op Center Into the Fire. This is a 2015 copyright. Book's in really good shape. And this is what it's about. When a team of assassins murder a high-ranking North Korean general and his family in their sleep, making it look like a robbery, events are set in motion that could shake the balance of world power. Meanwhile, a U.S. naval combat ship, the USS Milwaukee, is attacked by North Korean forces in the middle of a training exercise, and the commander, Kate Bigelow, is forced to ground the ship to avoid being captured. The crew takes refuge on a tiny island trapped dangerously between the grounded ship and the fleet of the hostile North Korean soldiers. Into the Fire. Ops Center Intelligence discovers a secret alliance behind the attack, one in which North Korea guarantees China total control of the vast oil reserve beneath the Yellow Sea. As both sides marshal their forces for a major confrontation at sea, Chase Williams and his Ops Center organizations devise a plan to secretly spirit the American crew from the island. But the North Koreans have something else in mind, and soon they unleash a terrorist cell on the American homeland. Can Ops Center uncover their plan and prevent a major catastrophe that could lead to an all-out war? Very interesting. I like the color of that book, too. It's like a dark, rich, dark blue. It's later on film. So that's 4. Here's book number 5. We have Free Fall by Mofina, and this is a 2016 copyright. That's what the book looks like, and this is what it's about. Crisis in the skies, pilots with no control. High above the Adirondack Mountains, a commuter flight to New York City turns into a rolling, twisting nightmare, plunging from the sky before the crew regains control. Then in London, a jetliner crashes into a runway, killing 15 people. Investigators with no answers. Reporter Kate Page believes something beyond mechanical or human error is behind the incidents that have air investigators baffled. But the mystery deepens as the team scrambles to pinpoint a link between the tragedies, and Kate receives an untraceable message from someone boasting responsibility and threatening another event. A looming disaster. As Kate and the FBI and the MTSB race to find answers, the shadow figures behind the operations launch their most devastating plan yet, and time ticks down on one of the greatest tragedies the world has ever known. So there you go, book number 5. Book number 6, we have Invasion of Privacy by Chrisopher Reich. This is a 2015 copyright. It's in really good condition. This is what it's about. While meeting with a confidential informant, Mary Grant's husband, Joe, an FBI agent, is killed on a remote, dusty road outside of Austin, Texas. The official report places blame on Joe's shoulders. But the story doesn't add up, and Mary prods the FBI to investigate. There are just too many questions. Meanwhile, Ian Prince, founder of One Technologies, the world's largest internet company, has his own concerns about the FBI looking into Joe Grant's death. Prince's newest invention, the Titan supercomputer, is set to launch, and Mary's quest for the truth could cause him trouble. When Mary is stonewalled by the FBI, she takes matters into her own hands with the help of her daughter, Jessie. A brilliant hacker, she takes over her husband's investigation, putting herself and her entire family in the crosshairs of one of the most powerful men in America, as well as the most terrifying surveillance system ever created. That sounds interesting. So there's book 6. Book 7 is Vostok by Steve Alten. It's a sequel to The Lock. Ooh, creepy alligator face. He's not happy. This is a 2015 copyright. Like brand new. This is what it's about. East Antarctica, the coldest, most desolate location on the Earth, 2.5 miles below the ice cap, is Vostok, a 6,000 square mile liquid lake, more than 1,000 feet deep. Left untouched for over 15 million years. Now, marine biologist Zachary Wallace and 2 other scientists aboard a submersible tethered to a laser will journey 13,000 feet beneath the ice into the unexplored realm to discover the Mesozoic life forms long believed extinct, and an object of an immense power responsible for the evolution of modern man. This sounds like a good book, too. That's 7. Book number 8. We have Lash Up by Larry Bond. Sorry if there's a glare. 2015 copyright. That's what the book looks like. It's what it's about. GPS satellites are vital to the U.S. military. They allow units to navigate confidently over trackless waste and can direct aircraft and weapons to within feet of their targets. When China provokes a military crisis with the United States and then starts shooting down GPS satellites, Ray McConnell, an engineer in the Navy's Space and Naval Warfare Systems Commands, knows he must act quickly. Without the satellites, America's military capabilities will be crippled and China will gain an enormous advantage in any future conflict. The only way the satellites can be protected is from the orbit. So McConnell's team of soldier scientists must construct an armed spacecraft capable of knocking weapons out of the sky. The fate of the nation depends on their success. So there you go. That's book number 8. Book number 9. We have People of the Songtrail by Michael and Kathleen O'Neill. Let's see. Michael Gear and Kathleen O'Neill Gear. How cool is that? A novel of North America's forgotten past. So this is what the book looks like. It is a 2015 copyright, and this is what it's about. On the shores of the American wilderness, a small group of settlers have leaned seeking freedom to worship far from religious strife and political upheaval that plague a war-ridden Europe, 500 years before Columbus set sail. Vikings, in a desperate bid to find a new homeland where they can worship their gods in peace, have embarked on land nom, and land taking. They are led by Thorlak, a feared and respected magic maker, and his apprentice Thera, an enigmatic young woman said to be an accomplished practitioner of Sidor Odin magic. The colonists are determined to make this lush new land their own in spite of skrilling barbarians in their way. Chief Bedisut, leader of Whale Rib Village, is brought the news that W.E.B have returned to the people of the Songtrail lands. This knowledge fills him with sorrow and anger. 10 winters ago, these people came to his country and kidnapped children, among the Bedisut's own son. Bedisut wonders if they have returned to trade or rape and pillage, and so the stage is set for an epic confrontation. There are fractions for war and peace on both sides, and neither has the sole ownership of honor. And there is another battle, is not seen on this plane, a clash of magical wills that will determine whose people survive. Nothing is as it seems, and even the most innocent will have a role to play. Based on recent archaeological discoveries, People of the Songtrail is a story of a swift and violent clash of cultures and extraordinary men and women who were brave enough to work through for the fragile hope of peace, and a story that has remained untold until now. That sounds interesting, too. So that's book number 9. Book number 10, and the last book in this lot, is called The Patriot by Ted Bell. And this is a 2015 copyright, nice thick reading book. And this is what it's about. Off the coast of Maine, an esteemed former CIA director is found dead on his sailboat. His head bashed in half a world away in Paris. Another senior CIA officer dies of a heart attack while making love in a posh hotel room. When counter spy Alex Hawk hears the news, he believes the deaths can be tied to one source, Spider Payne, a rogue intelligence officer who exploits got him fired by the CIA. Now, the former star agent seems to have evolved into a serial killer. A M16 officer, Alex Hawk, is directly in his line of fire. In Russia, Vladimir Putin is determined to forge his country into a formidable superpower once more, and he'll stop at nothing to realize his global fantasies. Meanwhile, Kremlin scientists are developing a radical new weapon that could forever alter modern warfare. NATO knows Putin will not hesitate to use it, but they feel powerless while they're locked in a tense standoff as Russian army forces are air a raid on Eastern Europe's borders. Only one man can bring the world back from this apocalyptic brink, is Alex Hawk. That sounds like a good one, too. So with that, thank you for spending your time with me. Comment in my comment section. Come visit me. Come say hello. Every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, I do my lives. Come in and say hello to me. I like company. And with that, whatever time zone you're in, I hope you're having a great one, and I will see you soon. Bye.